Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, welcome to checking out the YouTube version of Cinematic Autopsy. We've noticed a lot of you are watching and have not subscribed.
Yes.
So,
Please
it would,
subscribe.
yeah, before we begin, it would be wonderful if you guys could click on that little link right there, right, see where I'm pointing right there, and you'll notice that if you scroll down, you'll see subscribe. So subscribe to us, CL Squared Productions. You'll be able to see our videos, stuff.
We have lots of cool
our
content for you
trailers.
guys. You'll know everything
Yeah.
that we're up to in the
Exactly.
film world, whether we're talking about it or doing it.
Exactly. So let's give you 5 seconds to subscribe. All right, everyone. We'll see you guys soon.
Wow.
Hi.
Hi guys,
Hello.
we're having a chaotic morning. Very chaotic
Hey
morning.
everybody.
How are you?
Hi. Anyway, so yeah, hi, I'm Charles D. Lincoln.
I'm Chelsea LeSage.
Yep, and
Yes.
LeSage is how it's properly pronounced. I'm correct.
Yes.
Because I have
Yes.
to, because I'm a dude and we have to mansplain.
Yes. I love how the screaming goat is still in the background. It's hilarious.
Screaming goat? Which screaming goat? You mean?
That one. Is it broken?
No, it just screamed, but I think,
Oh,
yeah. So anyway, yes, in a very stressful morning, there's a nor'easter where I am, and there's tornadoes and houses
Yeah.
falling and
So he
lions
has a
and
nor'easter. He's with my animals, and they're being naughty. And there's a nor'easter there.
one
and
is
there's
being naughty. The others are
Yes.
being very good girls.
Okay,
One
good.
is
And then I
being
am
a terror.
a fucking terror. And then I am down in the middle of nowhere, South Carolina,
Mm-hmm.
where there's a tornado. So
Mm-hmm.
we're doing great.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm wearing this because Chelsea was telling we went to see wrestling on Monday, and
We did.
I figured because every 5 minutes, Chelsea kept turning to me, being like, "Oh my God, you look so good in the beanie."
He
I was
does look
like,
so good in the beanie.
all right. I personally think I look like fucking, middle-aged Serpico, but we'll see if, I wore it because I figured I would make Chelsea happy
It
because
does.
it's been a stressful morning for all of us.
Yay.
I need to steam this shirt because it's so fucking wrinkled. Anyway.
The steamer is either in the storage room or above the washer dryer.
Yeah, I have my own steamer, but it's in my storage unit. But that doesn't
It's
help
in the
me
house somewhere.
until I
There
go
is
to
one in the house somewhere.
thing. So anyway, people, welcome to the Cinematic Autopsy podcast. Yeah, this week we're covering the wonderful, wonderful remake of Martyrs. And yeah. So last week we all saw the French extreme film from Pascal Laguerre. Yeah.
Better than I could do.
Yeah, called Martyrs, which is, an awesome film about two a woman who endured a whole lot of trauma, and then there's this whole, tragic ending and blah 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 blah. And now we watch the American version.
America, fuck yeah.
Exactly. Or as Chelsea was Chelsea basically described it as Netflix horror.
It is Netflix horror. Like, so no, we love you, Netflix. Please hire us. But it's just how Netflix has a tendency to have movies that towards the end just completely let you down, or they muddle down the entire thing. It's like it's like diaper horror, but
Yeah.
not in the gross way. In the like horror for children.
Oh, okay,
Right.
okay. So like the
Yes.
Monster Squad.
Yes.
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 So we're gonna cover that. Directed by some guy.
Yes.
No, actually directed by two people. Kevin Goetz and Michael Goetz of Puddle of Mud fame. Not yeah, apparently they directed like a shit ton of Puddle of Mud videos.
Perfect
Which is
people to direct this movie.
obviously when you have a well-respected film, you don't look towards the indies, you look towards Puddle of
Puddle of
Mud.
Mud.
Yes.
Yes.
I know when when the next time I'm gonna just write a script and produce it and not direct it, I'm not gonna go to a highly respected indie director or anything. I'm gonna go and look for the guy who makes 5-finger death punch videos. So
Yes.
there you go.
Yes. I want the guy who did Two Girls, One Cup. That's what I want.
It'll probably be better than the guy who did the fucking 5-finger death punch videos. So just to give you you know what, I'll tell you, my entire life I have said that I hate I absolutely hate with a passion people who pay attention to Metacritic, because Metacritic is something that we, you know, like fucking every horror, good, bad, whatever, horror films always do awful on Metacritic.
Yes.
However, I had to look at the user score. Yes. Which was 19 out of 100.
Oh, well, that's fun.
And I was like, well, you know, I normally say Metacritic is bullshit, but a broken clock is right twice a day. So anyway, on that advice, we'll see you next week. And oh wait, yeah, we got to cover the movie. All right. Normally, here's where we also tell you, hello, Gertrude.
Hi, kids. Mommy misses you.
Your mommy loves you. So,
Yeah, sure does.
as opposed to the mommies in this film. Anyway, so, but yeah, like, you know, yeah, normally we tell people beware of spoilers because we're gonna spoil the whole fucking movie. But honestly, you should watch this even if you haven't watched the film, because it'll make it so you don't have to. So,
That's true.
yeah.
That's true.
Can you tell we didn't like it? Anyway, so we start off, there's like a loft or some shit.
It's like a warehouse with like a curtain room.
Yes,
you know.
and it's so fucking clean. It is.
It is the cleanest warehouse ever.
You would
Like,
not torture. Yeah, you would not torture someone here. You would have them eat off the floor, and they'd still give you a fucking B rating.
Yeah. Yes. It's true. That's absolutely true. Yeah, so and there's someone crying, there are chains clanking on her, she runs away, she runs outside, calls for help, blah, blah, blah. A lot of these, so just like forewarning you all, that it's basically, a lot of these they tried to recreate like the same scenes and the same sequence as the original, and they failed miserably every single time.
But in softer ways. Like, for example,
Yes.
you know, Lucy in the original, when she's a little girl running, she's fucking dirty. She's in her underwear. Her fucking face is beaten in. She looks awful. This is a very long-haired girl who seems very clean and very unbeaten, but she's wearing a dirty tunic.
Yes.
And she runs, and then and I've said this many times, I think everything wrong in American horror can be found in this film.
Yes. You see people like, there's a man on the radio investigating the place.
Oh, wait, we're not even to that yet, because one of my big complaints, there's a big complaint I have about the end of this shot. Why the fuck does she just run and scream into the camera?
Yes, she does run in. It's like they wanted her. Well, it's a Puddle of Mud aesthetic, don't you realize? Yes, they have her run. They have her run and look directly down the barrel. Yeah, and it doesn't make any sense. It's really silly. Like they fucked up. Yeah,
that's just
like, I remember you looked at me.
Creepy. Yeah,
we watched this together, and Charles just looked at me like with such anger. Like, it was brilliant. You know when you're serious, if you're angry and you're silent, it's great. Yeah.
So I'm normally very loud and gregarious. If you couldn't tell from listening to this podcast, gregarious. But yeah, no, I do tend to get a little quiet when I'm not in a good mood. So we cut
now
to
there
black.
are people. Yes, now there are people investigating the place. It's like, as we said,
it's a full fucking SWAT team.
Yes, there's snipers, and it's clean as fuck. And they're like, oh, well, maybe it's the wrong building because there's nothing here. Like already not believing the woman. So there's like already issues with that, with the script. They're not believing this like little girl already. And then we cut to 1 month later.
1 month
Uh,
later.
Later. Yes.
I keep thinking of that meme with with like the French accent and stuff. So
Oh, it's from SpongeBob.
is it?
Yeah, it's like 3 hours later, one
Yeah.
month later. Throughout every episode of SpongeBob, like not every episode, but every single season of SpongeBob, there's one of those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I posted one of those on a wrestling thing the other day because there was an article about, as I said, a particular wrestler named Parker Boudreaux, um basically telling everyone, no, I'm still with AEW, and then later on that night
Yes,
it was
he was
announced that he was
released.
released. So I went to the original article and just posted 3 hours later.
That's
Dot
awesome. Now
dot dot.
all
Yeah.
this 90s, all of us 90s kids are gonna be like, that guy Charles is real cool. He posted a SpongeBob meme.
And he wears a beanie. I bet he skateboards too.
I bet he's a skater boy. Avril Lavigne lives. Yes.
Oh man. So yeah, so we see a girl sitting on a thing that we very clearly determined was called a roundabout.
Yes,
Um,
because we like fucked it up or were concerned about it in a different episode, right?
yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah,
it
it
had
was
tea coming out of my mouth.
one of the Nightmare on Elm Street ones. I don't know if it was the original or the no, it wasn't. It was Hellraiser. Hellraiser reboot.
Oh.
Because we weren't sure what
Oh.
the hell that thing was called, and we looked it up
Mhm.
and called a roundabout.
And I went on them like my entire childhood. I saw one yesterday because I'm in South Carolina
Hmm.
and they are everywhere. But
But but that's the thing. When you're a kid, you don't actually care what the name of something is. You just like, oh, it's fun, I'll do it.
oh, it's called Death Trap. Sounds great.
Yeah, yeah.
Ah! Yes. So this is Mary's orphanage, and she's on the roundabout. She meets Anna. You're Lucy, right?
Wait,
And
wait, yeah, I was gonna say, who's Mary?
Mary's orphanage.
Oh, really? That's what it's called?
Mary's orphanage. That's what it said.
Oh my God, what an unoriginal name for a fucking orphanage.
Yes. Yes.
Not even like our Sacred Mother Mary or anything like that, just Mary's. That's
Well, I mean, it could have been more than it made sense if it was like St. Mary's or something like
yeah.
that. But I
Okay.
wrote Mary's orphanage. I would have written down the whole thing.
Okay, yeah, that's
Um,
exactly why I'm saying. Like, I know you would have
yeah.
written the whole name down. So I'm like, it's just said
hmm
Mary's fucking orphanage. Jesus, the Puddle of Mud guys were just like, hey, Mary, that's a Jesus thing, right?
That's
Let's just call it that
that's
for the
his mom,
norms.
right? Oh, that's the
Yeah,
whore he loved. It's named after Mary Magdalene. That'd
that
be
is
funny.
true.
But they couldn't remember Mary's last name. They
Why
couldn't
did you
remember
say that name? Sorry, it's just
We're having a great time.
Yeah, now I'm just imagining fucking Batman being crucified and like someone says Mary Magdalene. Why did you say that name? That's my mother's name. Just throw in some Batman v Superman in there.
Why not? Why not?
Why
I
not?
mean, let's make everything canon. Let's make our own canon Justice League. It'll be
You know,
great.
although see, now I'm trying to debate which is a worse movie, this or Batman v Superman?
That's the
Oof.
only like Justice League type movie that I've seen.
Yeah,
Like I've seen
I
the Wonder Womans and stuff, but that's it.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's awful. It's honestly
But
an awful film, but
none of it matters anymore.
yeah, but no, it doesn't. It's just been erased. It doesn't exist. It's Elseworlds now.
It's Elseworlds. Yes.
Yes, but
So Anna leaves her a cookie on a very unsanitary roundabout. Like it's
yeah,
an
yeah,
orphanage. I imagine that children have shit on that and they haven't cleaned it perfectly. But
all the
Anna,
time, all the
yes,
time. They're doing it right now.
yes. I'm sure that some kid somewhere is shitting on a roundabout.
Yes. So yeah, so this goes on for way too long. Like the original was what, like a montage during the opening credits?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like it was quick, it
Yeah,
was fast. You learned who the characters were in a very efficient manner.
and none of this is about the acting job of anyone in this. That's
No.
like, especially these kids, they did a good job. It's not their fault.
No, like
It's
I'm
not
even,
their fault.
like later on we're going to talk about how just, the actress who plays adult Anna is just gorgeous and kept gorgeous the whole film, and and that's a problem considering the type of film this
She's
is.
way too pretty to be playing
But
that role.
that is not. I don't even think it's to be playing that role. I don't say it's. I don't think it's so much her fault as I think it was hair, makeup, and who knows. I suspected there might have even been a production mandate of don't let her get too ugly at any point in the film.
That would be shocking if they actually did that.
That happens so many times. I mean, did you ever hear about why what's her face? The original, not the original Fantastic Four, but the Fantastic Four, Chris Evans, was it
And
Jennifer
Jessica Alba?
Jessica Alba. Have you ever heard the story about that?
No.
About how she was actually told by the director that she was crying too ugly and that no one wants to see her looking ugly in a film. And so they literally told her, cry pretty, Jessica.
Wow.
So in considering that there are that sort of mandates being put down from Hollywood, where it's like, we don't want a pretty girl to not look pretty at any point, even if her character is supposed to be going through shit.
Mm-hmm.
I seriously wonder, and not even as a joke, I seriously wonder if there was a mandate from either directors or production of, hey, we hired this really hot girl. Let's make sure she's hot the whole film.
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah.
Very sad.
What Jessica Alba said that she almost quit acting after that because she was that
Wow.
upset because she's like, she's like, people are going to talk about what a shitty actress I am and you're not letting me act,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
people
that's
did.
the thing that-
People went on about how much she sucked in that movie, but how can you not suck if you've got a director who won't let you actually do what
do your
you
job.
want? Yeah,
That's really upsetting.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But yeah,
this montage, this childhood thing goes on way too long.
but yeah, that was the one line that always stuck with me about the Fantastic Four thing was cry pretty, Jessica. And I think there's a good chance that exact same shit was said to the actress who plays Anna. So yeah.
Boo.
So there's cookies being left there, and Anna and we see Lucy screaming, and the run over to tell her there's no monster. There's no one there. Gee, isn't that wonderful? Now we have totally lost the question of whether or not the demon lady is real. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, that was fun.
No, and obviously the demon lady isn't real because she is so CG'd.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah,
She looks like she's like something out of like what I would expect in like a fucking Paranormal Activity movie or like a really bad like made straight for like fucking, a streaming service witch movie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's what it looked like. Like the French version, it's this frightening fucking naked, bloody, scarred up fucking demon lady.
Yeah.
And here it's just like, ooh, she's a scary witch thingy.
She's a computer.
Yeah, and it's awful. It's really awful. So
we find out that Anna steals cookies from the kitchen, which is the only cool thing about Anna at this point. She steals from nuns.
Yeah.
Yes, which we love.
So we see a detective asking Anna about the people who hurt Lucy.
Mm-hmm.
And while she's surrounded by just terrifying nuns on all sides.
Yeah. And I'm like, I would not, and police still do this, and maybe nuns still do this, because nuns still run some orphanages and schools and stuff like that. I mean, they can't beat you anymore. Like my dad was always talking about how his nuns, when he was in school, used to like actually whip him with a ruler and stuff. Like that, you can't do that shit anymore. But like, there's still the practice of like, people interrogating children in a very scary way, and I'm like, you can't do that. I wouldn't say shit if I were Anna in this. It's terrifying.
Yeah, when I was in fifth grade, I was in Catholic school. And one day we got a substitute teacher that was one of the old school nuns. And she legitimately, like one of my friends, she like legitimately grabbed him by the ear to pull him, like to get him to do something.
Yep. Nope. Don't do that.
We never saw her again as a substitute, but yeah, because I'm sure he probably complained to his parents about that.
Well, that's good.
But yeah, but just in that one day, it was like seeing like what the old nuns were, because you know, when I went to Catholic school, the nuns weren't hitting us or anything like that. Mr. Nuzzalese was doing that. But you know, yeah. And if anyone wants to sue me, you know, there's the record that the guy was literally fired. So, you know, yeah, no, there
Yeah,
was a guy who was fired for punching a child, at my old Catholic school.
as
Uh,
well he should have been.
yes. So,
Can't believe you're
yeah.
supporting a child.
Well, you know, that child is now in like probably 40 something, so it's okay. Um, but yeah, we see Lucy making crude sketches of a skeleton or something, and the lights start flashing, and Lucy rushes to shut the door with a chair and puts a blanket over her head. And
hmm She gets under the covers, creepy ass drawings on the wall.
yeah,
Like, why is it's weird? So they made this orphanage not a psych facility where it seemed like, well, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like in in this, it's. I guess let me say I really liked the like montage in the original where you saw that like a lot of the children in the orphanage clearly had issues,
yeah,
and this just seems like a normal like scary nun orphanage, but why would they let her have these creepy drawings on her wall? It was like a quick cut, but I was like they let her keep these on the wall. That's messed up.
no,
That would not happen.
not to mention, like, you know what I realize is that because this isn't done by guys who like, you know, have like a cinematic vision, it's done by people who made Puddle of Mud videos.
Hmm.
Um, you know, but which is hilarious now that I think about it, because I'm like, if Puddle of Mud called tomorrow and we're like, hey, we'll pay you $1 million to direct our video, I'm like, sure.
Yeah, sure.
But
It's
yeah,
because we heard you talk so much shit about us. Oh,
yeah,
great. Yeah, awesome. You guys are
yeah,
masochists?
exactly.
Absolutely.
But yeah,
And then
no, like,
we'd make it the fucking we'd make the new music video like exactly what we wanted the American Martyrs to be in one video.
yes, yes, but the thing that I kept thinking of was that like instead of like having a coherent vision, different
Hmm.
parts of this movie felt like they were just trying to emulate different horror movies.
Yes, or different music videos.
And well, no, like think about this. Like this scary orphanage just seems like the setting of a movie of like ghost nuns or some sort of shit, and no one believes the little kid or something.
Ghost Nuns is a movie.
I don't give a fuck.
It is now.
You know, but you know what I'm saying? Like this felt like, you know, a movie about kids that have really scary. These scenes felt like they were scenes, you know, of kids at a really scary orphanage or something. And
Yeah.
you know, and like just like they were making little mini movies or something out of the different scenes instead of having a coherent
Yeah, makes
vision for the
sense.
whole film.
Makes sense.
Uh
Another big question thing is she had her own room at the orphanage. That's not going
yeah.
to happen. That's not possible. So the chair moves and scrapes, the doors open, the lights go out. Says get out, the lights go off. She calls for Anna. There's a shadow on the other side of the sheet. She's holding the sheet in a very specific way where you can tell that the silhouette they wanted on the other side. You could tell it was a cut in where like someone was just holding up a sheet
Hmm.
so that they
Yeah.
could get the shadow on the other side. Like it was
Yeah.
such an obvious cut in of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the monster lady is there and is very not scary.
Yeah. Now, in the
Yeah.
original, we cut immediately as soon as we see that, and then we cut
Hmm.
to adult Lucy.
Hmm.
Here, they decide, well, no, that's not quite enough. Let's stick with the children for much longer.
Much longer. If they're under contract. We still have, oh, wow, we shot all of that in a 6 hour day. We have an 8 hour day. Let's shoot more. We get the kids for 8 hours. Let's keep going.
Yeah, because
Um,
Anna runs into the room. She finds Lucy in the closet. She hugs her. It's okay. They're not going to hurt you anymore. And I'm like, all this is unnecessary dialogue. Like, we don't need any of
and she
this.
says, I believe you, which later
Yeah,
on plays into it.
yeah.
Yeah, you see that they're like becoming inseparable. Some shit about the cookies. They
But
played knick knack paddywhack.
so let me just point out for 1 second how once again one of the reasons why this is everything wrong with American horror, because it is, I get it that sometimes the audience can, you know, not get things and sometimes they might get confused.
Yeah.
But do you literally need her saying, no one believes me, I believe you, in order for us to know why she would be hurt that Anna doesn't believe her later?
Yes, clearly, yes. And that's definitely a core memory. That of all the trauma that Lucy's apparently gone through, that is a memory that she would never forget and hold a grudge against for her betraying her later. No, that's like some fucking I've said shit like that to like my friends like when I was a kid and I don't remember it, but I'm sure that I did, but I wouldn't retain that because it's not important, nor is it important to this story
Yeah,
at all.
but they felt that we better have that or audiences will get confused.
It must have been the lead singer of Puddle of Mud, just like behind their ear, being like, "Listen, guys, this will do it." And I'll put it. This is in a lyric. This is in a lyric. I'm gonna put you in a puddle of mud if you don't put these. If you don't put this dialogue in.
Okay, well, let's not imply the singer of Puddle of Mud is murdering people. Let's
No,
not do
no,
that.
I
Um,
wasn't. I don't know where your mind
yeah,
went, but that's not what I was saying.
I'll put you in a puddle of mud. You know,
Yeah.
So yeah, we see them, and there's another thing when they're like, the singing "Knick Knack Paddywhack." This old man. I think this old man is the title. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And this old man, he's something. He's
but
my shoe with a knick-knack paddywhack. Yeah.
funny. It's once again, it's just like what my complaint with the American version of Goodnight Mommy,
Mm-hmm.
where children, the big song that's special to them is not like the song that they heard on the radio when they were together. It is not like a song that, okay, maybe not their mothers because this, but say someone at the orphanage sang to them. No, it's the public domain.
I don't even remember what song it was.
I'm saying, well, in that one, it was "You Are My Sunshine."
Oh yeah.
So it's once again an American horror thing wherein, we don't need it to be, a big song that's special to everybody. It's what's a public domain children's song? Let's just stick that in there.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Because
agree.
we all sang "This Old Man" as kids, but I don't think
Hmm.
that's a special song to any of us.
No, that was such a really surprising choice because it was like, no, that's like a game that you play during recess, and
Yeah,
then that's it. There's no special value to anybody. No friendship is like based on knick-knack patty fuck. Sorry,
yeah.
like nobody. It's not. Yes, but you know what? Choices were made, and now we're
Yeah.
talking about them.
Yeah, so we get all these extra scenes that we don't need, and we're gonna keep
Hmm.
going back to them. We're gonna get a lot of these.
Yeah.
Um, they're being chased by nuns for the cookies. They're looking at clouds. I wish I could ride a cloud and let it take me wherever I want. Where would you go? Wherever you
Wherever
go.
you go. So now there's snow, there's some detective. Do you believe what Lucy says about her monsters? There's a close up on her lips for no reason, and then she says, I don't know. Bah, bah, bah.
Because hey, we can't suddenly not establish. We have to establish that Anna has been doubting her for 10 years.
Yes. So now it's 10
For
year later.
that, wait, you have to say it the right way.
10 years later.
All right. There you
Yeah.
go.
So we're at a mailbox. We see a mailbox of 101-8112. I don't know why I wrote that down, but that was their mailbox.
8675309. So
Yes. So there's a guy with a backhoe. He's digging a trench. He's got a
back
shovel.
ho.
Backhoe, you mofo. Yes.
That's right. He's right there with from Chekhov's construction company.
Yes.
Um,
He is. So he's dealing with a water pipe thing. I wrote bacon. Oh, there's something about bacon.
we cut to cooking bacon, and
Oh,
we see the brother and sister arguing, but in a very, very snotty way.
yeah, the kids are a little older. He's talking about like someone slobber or their son slobbering on someone at a lake, kind of getting in trouble with the mom. They're still it's pretty much typical,
Come on,
but
Nun
like
Nut.
no,
Come on, Nun Nut.
mommy,
Look, it's your
baby.
mom. Come, there we go.
Hi, baby.
Hello.
I
Look.
miss them
Aw.
so much. Oh, I'm in your
Aw.
headphones, so she can't hear me, right?
Yeah, but
Okay,
she
that's
can
fine.
see you right there. So,
Yeah.
ah,
So these kids don't really have very much dialogue, and that's fine with me, you know.
so we also don't see any sort of article. There was the whole there. We do not find out why. I mean, how Lucy found these people.
How Lucy figures out who those people are. Yeah, no, You don't know. You don't know. It came to her in a vision. The scary lady told her. It's the only logical explanation. I don't know.
She found the
I don't.
lyrics in a Puddle of Mud song.
Yes. Yes. That was it. That was
Yes.
absolutely it.
Yes.
So
What
the
was
dad need.
it's the with the lyrics, the song title is that address that you remembered.
Yes.
Yes.
God, I remember the worst things, the most nonsensical things. No, 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 no. The So yeah, the Brian says she's full of shit. Brian accuses her little sister of saying she's full of shit. You're probably right, the dad says. So now they're talking shit about both the kids. Dad needs help. Oh, Nicole is someone.
The kid.
Nicole is the kid, and
Yeah.
then Lucy with a shotgun happens really quick.
Yep.
Do you know what your
Lucy
parents?
at the
Yeah.
door with shotgun. Anyway.
Yes. Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. She shoots the dad, and then shoots the mom. And do you know what your parents did? And she shoots both of them.
She
Shoots.
scores.
She shoots. She scores. Yes,
Yes.
shoots the kid, the Brian at the table, and then gets Nicole under the bed. You know, with the first shot. And this is the only shot that's good in the whole movie, cinematography wise.
Yeah.
And it's like an overhead shot of blood coming out from under the bed.
With feathers and yeah.
Yes,
It's
with
it's
feathers and
it's it
stuff.
is a nice shot, yeah.
Yes, that's the only good shot.
However, it's still not as impactful as a
No,
little girl literally being shot through the fucking chest, like in the
yeah,
original.
from behind. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So Anna calls, and Lucy says, "I need you to see them too." I was just like, "What the fuck?" So
Okay,
Anna,
okay. Well, let's emphasize here the big difference. So this movie is all about how, oh, we're gonna go really, really hard into showing, the friendship and love between Anna and Lucy, as opposed to the original, which obviously somehow didn't show they loved each other enough. And yet Anna's sleeping. In the original, Anna is close by, Anna's waiting, Anna is concerned, Anna knows this is going on.
mm-hmm, yep,
Here, Anna's sleeping. Lucy just wandered off to murder people.
it happens.
You know,
I mean, it does happen,
yeah.
but yeah. So she shows up. She opens the door.
With
She sees the dead people.
She doesn't just open the door. She opens the door and her hair blows and her fucking silken locks blow in the breeze like a goddamn shampoo commercial.
Yes.
You know,
Yes. Yeah. You were like, "What is this? A shampoo commercial?"
yeah, like it's ridiculous. Like I mean, as I said, she's a very attractive like person, but that shouldn't be the point.
No.
And I get the feeling, like I said, because these guys come from music videos where it's all the point to show, hey, let's look how hot this chick is,
Mm-hmm.
in Puddle of Mud's cover of Cherry Pie, which I don't know if that happened, but I'm gonna imagine it did.
It did not
Um,
happen. But actually, I don't even know that. But no fucking way did that happen.
come on, it could have.
It could
Who
have,
did?
but
Who
hopefully it
did?
didn't.
Fucking so, and they have the girl there and her fucking, the music is playing, the guitar hits, and she's there and her fucking, bustier and their fucking hair's flowing in the wind. And
Charles Batrow.
that's the fucking aesthetic that they show fucking the Anna character
Yes.
with. And
Yeah,
it's,
it's true. It's true.
yeah.
So
Not that she has a bustier in the movie, but you know the aesthetic I'm talking
she
about.
does. You
But
just
yeah,
can only see it if you have a certain like night vision. Then you can see it. Yes.
that just seems creepy.
Yes. Hey, it gives some substance to the movie though. So she sees it. What?
This movie would not have substance if it was a literal solid form. Um, so, if
No,
the
I'm just.
movie, yeah, if the movie was a fucking diorama instead of a movie, it would not have solid form.
That's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair. So Anna opens the door. She sees the dead people. Lucy says, "I didn't have a choice. I had to. I told you it was them." And Anna's like, "What? We were gonna call the police." So she kills them anyway, and nobody cares anymore except for me and you, Anna. That's him, his face, I know those eyes. He's the one, Anna, and her. It's been too long. You can't be too sure, Anna says. It's them, see?
This is
Uh,
awful dialogue. Awful.
yeah, yeah.
Absolutely awful dialogue.
It is terrible dialogue. And again, you don't know how Lucy knew it was them.
Mhm.
There is nothing saying how it was them at all. Yeah. Which is just it's great. So and she says that the
Also, let's
children
say,
knew yeah.
so it's been too long, you can't be sure.
Yeah.
That's a case if you're talking about someone who was a child when they attacked you.
Hmm.
10 years later, a child is not going to look like what they look like then. An adult will still basically look like what they looked like. Maybe their hair is a little grayer, maybe they've got a couple more wrinkles, but
I thought she was just doubting Lucy's memory.
I mean, it could have been, but it's still bad. It's bad dialogue because it doesn't apply to adults. You can see any adult, like I said, like you look at you or I, 10 years from now, we will still pretty much look in a way that you would still recognize that's us.
Yeah. God damn it. I wanted to look like, I don't know, David Bowie.
I thought you were going to say Stevie Nicks, but.
Well, I thought of that too, but I don't want to lose a foot. She's a foot shorter than I am.
Okay. You know, the funniest part is, because I guess it shows the difference in musicians that we listen to. When you said, I don't want to lose a foot, I legitimately was like, wait, Stevie Nicks like lost one of her feet? Was that like to heroin or something? Because the vocalist of the band Ministry is missing some of his toes because he kept shooting up between them.
Dang.
Yeah, so that's what I thought when you said I don't want to lose a foot.
not my Lord and Savior, Stevie Nicks. No,
I was
no.
I knew she had a coke habit, but I didn't know that it was she was shooting up at her feet. Yeah, Jesus.
No, Stevie, you are God, okay?
Okay.
Yes, Charles and I have been watching a lot of Fleetwood Mac documentaries.
Yeah, I was going to say, I can see why she's going her own way now, because she only has one foot, so she goes in a circle.
Terrible. So bad. Stevie Nicks, I love you so much. I'm so sorry.
Did you know, people, by the way, Stevie Nicks did not come into Fleetwood Mac until their 10th fucking album.
Their 10th album. I've been telling people down here, like, I'm staying with a friend who's a little older, and he knew all of that. And I'm like, how am I, like, I think I'm, like, one of the biggest Fleetwood Mac fans in the world, and I had no idea.
Yeah, I'm not even, and the funny part is, I'm not even a Fleetwood Mac fan. I'm the one who told Chelsea.
He told me.
Yeah, the reason I found out about it was there's a Judas Priest song that I had no idea was a Fleetwood Mac cover all these years.
Yeah,
and then it seemed so
cover
weird
all the
to
Fleetwood
me.
Mac documentaries.
Yeah, and it seemed so weird to me that I was like, "Wait a minute, Judas Priest are covering Fleetwood Mac? What?" And
it was
so
for Peter Green's Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah, exactly. And then I looked, and it was like 1970 Fleetwood Mac, and I'm like, "Wait, there is a." I thought Fleetwood Mac started with Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham joining.
No,
there were fucking 9 albums before that.
Yeah.
And in fact, we will share this fact with you because this is so much more interesting than the movie. Let's be honest about this. If nothing else, you get to learn Fleetwood Mac facts. All right?
Yes.
Fleetwood facts. There you go.
Fleetwood facts.
Yeah.
The musical. Yes.
Yeah. So, when they wanted Lindsey Buckingham to join Fleetwood Mac.
And he just randomly was in a studio, and it was after 14 turnarounds of artists already in the band.
Yeah. So, and I should note, and as I said, like a lot of people like me might not know who Lindsey Buckingham is, but you will know the person that was his girlfriend who he was in a band with, named Stevie Nicks.
Yeah.
And he said, "I'll only join the band if my girlfriend can join too." And they said, "No, we already have a girl. We don't want her."
They already had Christine McVie. Yeah.
And so apparently it was a lot of him being like, "I'm not going to join unless she comes." And they were like, "All right, I guess we'll have her join so we can sell 80 million albums."
I know. And now you just like, you can't think of any iteration of Fleetwood Mac besides like Christine and John McVie Mick Fleetwood and Buckingham and Nicks. Like you don't think of any other thing, and the fact that like they didn't want Stevie Nicks.
Yeah,
Like,
the fact that like as I said, growing up, I've heard Fleetwood Mac songs I didn't know were Fleetwood Mac songs because I don't recognize fucking Christine McVie's voice, but I recognize Stevie Nicks. Everyone recognizes Stevie Nicks' voice. She has such a recognizable fucking sound, and you know, and she almost wasn't there.
She almost wasn't there, and then like who knows? We probably wouldn't know who they are. I mean, like you don't know. I love though that. All right, last Fleetwood Mac fact for right now. Right now,
a Fleetwood fact.
Fleetwood fact.
You know what?
You,
remind me. I have to put a special Chiron on the screen. What's Fleetwood fact?
Yes. I'll remind you. The fucking but the Peter Green, the one who like started Fleetwood Mac, he like they were on tour and he had a really bad acid trip and went schizophrenic and had to leave the band. The guy who started it all, like, and got locked away for like the rest of his life.
Or the other member who went out for a magazine.
Yeah, he went out to get the newspaper and never came back, and they found him like years later in a cult.
Yes.
And they went to try and get him back. They tried to get him back, and he was like, "No, I'm happy here." What?
Oh my God.
We love Fleetwood Mac. The history of Fleetwood Mac is so much better than this movie.
Yes, exactly. I am, I'm not even Chelsea is a Fleetwood Mac fan. I like a couple songs.
Yes.
But I recommend, watching a documentary on Fleetwood Mac instead of watching this film. So anyway.
Yes.
Here we go. So Lucy is saying the children knew. The children knew
I don't even know what we're talking about.
The children knew all these facts about Fleetwood Mac, and so Lucy shot them because she was like, "God damn it! I thought Stevie Nicks was the beginning too."
Yes, that's what happened.
They're guilty too. You have to believe me. And
so she thinks that the kids knew what the parents were doing, and in no way, shape, or form is that reality. Like the kids never said they knew.
I mean, honestly, we don't know. We don't know because that's one of the things. Like when you watch interviews. Speaking of cults. When you watch interviews with people who are raised in like Children of God or any of those sort of things.
Which is the one that the Fleetwood Mac guy went to go join with Children of God.
Exactly.
Fleetwood fact.
But Fleetwood fact. But yeah, like fucking but Rose McGowan.
Fun.
Yeah, Rose McGowan was raised in Children of God. And she talks about all the weird shit that happened. Hell, a friend of mine was raised in it might have actually been Children of God, I don't know. But she was raised in a cult where she was raised to be her mother's replacement.
Yikes.
It was literally she was being raised so that when her mother died, she would perform all the wifely duties, and I literally mean all the wifely duties for her father. And she grew up thinking that was completely normal because that's how she was raised. And that's the thing about kids. You can teach them anything and they will believe it's normal because that's their reality. So it is entirely possible that these kids knew that there's somebody being tortured or whatever. And that's just normal because that's part of what mommy and daddy do so that they can discover the secrets of the universe or whatever.
Yes, makes sense.
Yeah. But we don't know it. We don't know it, and Lucy doesn't know it either.
Yeah, that's true. The family just went their own way.
All right, now you're gonna get us sued.
That's why I sang it really poorly.
Yeah, exactly. Mick Fleetwood has no association with the torture of like young children.
No, he does not. He does not. He is a gentle giant from everything we have heard. Yes. At 6'7", Fleetwood fact.
Yes, Fleetwood fact. So anyway, all right. Now we're having too many of these, and it's going to be hard for me to edit. So anyway,
you did this to yourself.
Yeah. So at this point, Anna runs out. Anna runs out and says, "I can't help you anymore." Yeah.
Creepy lady's still there. There's a
Yeah, we get.
broken vase.
Yeah, I had written Hollywood Witch Lady, who is
A door
not
slams
one.
behind her.
Yeah, yeah.
She's in the little
So
girl's room. She shoots at the bathroom,
here's
and Anna
also
hears it.
here's also where I noticed that Lucy has remarkably little blood on her face for someone who just married a family of 4 with a fucking shotgun.
Yes, and she also the blood never matches on her face.
No, no, the blood will literally change from scene to scene.
Yes, makes sense. Totally makes sense.
Yeah.
So the like CGI lady attacks her. She shoves her down the stairs, and takes off her coat. Wait, please. Oh, yes, she takes off Lucy's coat. Says, "Wait, please." Lucy says, she has a knife. I did it. I did it. It's over. I stopped them. It's supposed to be over. The woman's behind her. She goes to stab the creepy lady who grabs the blade and whatever. So she's stabbing her now. Gets her in the arm a couple of times. Then Lucy hides in a closet. And I wrote Anna has a diaper. That must have been a typo. That must have been a typo. So
Yeah,
she's
I don't remember that. Movie has a lot of faults. I don't recall. Maybe you were watching Two Girls, One Cup.
No, they didn't give that girl a diaper. Either
That's
of them.
in the sequel.
What?
That's in the sequel.
I believe you. I really sadly believe you.
I am totally making that up. So, so we cut to Anna and Lucy praying in church, whispering to each other, "Don't ever leave me." In a scene that feels like it feels like a thing that a responsible director or editor would edit out.
There's no need for this scene to be in there at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really it's some coffin scene, funeral shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Kid casket, which never is fun, but completely unnecessary scene. So then we cut back. Anna hides the shotgun that Lucy had under the couch. This is important later.
Couch.
Yes, this is a shotgun couch. If you don't have a shotgun couch, you're doing it wrong.
Yes.
Yes. So, I noticed that the AT&T logo was on the house phone. I'm like, is that just did they pay for the rights for that, or did they just forget?
Well, remember, you are allowed to show stuff on film as long as it is for its extended, for its express purpose.
But there's no reason for that.
Yeah, but I mean, because that's the thing. Some companies will sue you, but people have won lawsuits when being sued for, like, say, they might be like, hey, we don't want Jack Daniels in our movie, but if someone's just drinking it and not like getting drunk and murdering their family, they have
They'll
been
be
able
okay
to,
with it.
they've been able to successfully argue, well, it's meant to be drinking, and we showed a character drinking it, and it did not harm their product.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Sure.
So making a phone call with with an AT&T phone, even if AT&T may not want to be associated with a movie like this, it's the express purpose that product is for.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Yeah. Christopher was actually the one who explained this to me, and then I did research on it.
Wow.
Because
I
I remember we were covering logos up, and he's like, he goes, are you using it to bludgeon someone? And he's like, no. And he goes, well, then it's fine. And then he told me about how as long as it's used for the express purpose, it's okay. Filmmakers, you've just learned that, and that is a filmmaker fact.
Hey. Brought to you by Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah. So at this point, Anna wants to leave, and Lucy says, that they have to stay and get rid of the bodies and clean the house up, because that's what she thinks is required to let her go. And make it as though they never existed. So we get a gratuitous, and you know what? You know me. You watch my films. There's all sorts of nudity in it, but it always has to do with the plot. We get what I feel is a gratuitous shot of Lucy in her panties here.
Oh, when she's like showing her back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It felt gratuitous to me.
The purpose was just to show Anna the scars. Yeah, maybe those are scars that she can't make on herself, which is not true. She could self-flagellate, but yeah. But
the thing is the shot was a wide shot that emphasized Lucy's curves. If it's the thing is, you don't see the scars until the close-up.
Yeah, that's true.
So it just looks like, oh shit, look, she's taking her clothes off. Isn't that hot? That's what it looked like.
Yeah, you're
Which
right.
which once again goes to what I said about Anna, where I think that they probably were going out of their way to try to keep her looking hot throughout the whole film.
Yep.
Yeah.
Amen.
So Lucy tells her it's almost over, and Anna's freaking out that it's time to move the bodies. And so here's the thing is, they do spend an awful fucking and that's the thing in the original film. There was a mixture of exhaustion, it was a mixture of depression, and it was, Anna being so upset that she lost Lucy that she tried to respectfully bury. Here it's like, whatever, we have all the time in the world. Let's just go and hang out and we'll clean the house. And
Yeah, they spend forever there. Forever.
yeah,
Forever. And it also takes an awful long time for the bad guys or whatever who run the thing to call the household too.
yeah.
It takes a long time. Like the phone is never off the hook or anything like that.
And they are there for so incredibly long. Like, never mind the bad guys that find them. Like, I mean, they're not expecting guests that night. They're not fucking, you know what I mean? Like, there's too many variables for why you would even consider staying in the house for that long. Like, what if they're expecting a package? What if there's a guy coming to fix the cable? What if they're, you know what I mean? Like, you want to get in, get out, and do the other thing. And that's in the original movie, that was Lucy's plan, and just circumstances kept them there.
Yep.
Here, it's literally like, let's stay because the witch lady says I have to clean the house because I guess she's very, very cleanly or whatever. So
she's a clean witch lady who we never meet ever and don't know where she came from. Like, at least in the original, we have that shot where you see her being held in a different room when Lucy tries to escape as a kid. But we never know where she comes from, ever.
Yeah. So
I don't even know where we are in this. Go ahead.
Well, here's where they roll the family into they roll the father and the son into the hole made by the backhoe.
The backhoe hole.
Yeah. And here's where Anna asks why we can't just leave them, which is also a bad idea. Yes. Because then, of course, you're leaving evidence, but you don't have all the time in the world. You want to do this shit quickly. Honestly, the best thing to do would have just been to set the whole fucking house on fire.
No, totally. It would have.
Yeah.
I mean, like you wonder would it have killed everyone in the basement too?
But they didn't, as far as they knew, there wasn't anyone in the basement at that point.
I know. I'm just wondering if it would.
Yeah.
Because everything's metal.
So Anna, so they drop the son's body into the. Anna then goes and films a Noxema commercial. Yes. Because Jesus Christ, it was literally the exact same, like
her watching her face. Yeah.
Yeah. And then of course,
what? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, then Lucy just takes a nap. Sure.
Yeah, she's just asleep in the bed. Like, where are the neighbors? So Anna's wasting time looking at family photos. Anna picks up the phone to dial 911 like a stupid bitch and stops herself. The realistic thing is that even if you die, they would call right back. Yeah. If you hung up, they would call right back. I've done that when I in my earlier wild child days. Well, no, not really. When I've been in a really bad situation, I've gone to call 911 and I've hung up immediately, and they've called me right back. And this was on a house phone.
Yeah. Now later on, they say that the cult were monitoring all the outgoing calls, but that does not mean 911 still wouldn't have called back.
Yep, exactly.
And also,
it doesn't make any sense.
Also, let's be honest here. For a movie that was so determined to show the friendship between the two, Anna really doesn't have any loyalty towards Lucy in this at all.
No, she doesn't. It's like she tries, but it's feigned. It feels like more out of fear than anything.
The fact that she's going and calling the fucking police on her friend.
Yeah. What she should have done instead of everything that happens. She could have avoided everything.
Well,
if she'd actually picked up the phone.
Where I come from, snitches get stitches. So I would say don't call the police.
Yes. Don't call the police. So, yes. No.
That, by the way, is not actual legal advice from Charles D. Lincoln. No. If you see something, say something. But snitches do get stitches. Anyway, so yeah.
That is
Um,
true. So Anna's grabbed in the leg by the mom at this point.
yeah.
She lifts her up and she says, "Be quiet." And
Oh, we didn't even say that the mom was still alive.
oh yeah, so well because we don't know until right now. So
Yeah.
the mom's still alive, and then so she says Anna says, "Be quiet," and she really sucks at being quiet. And she says, "I can't leave my family. I want to see my children." Of course, she doesn't know the kids are dead yet. Lucy comes and stabs her to death on the front lawn. Where are the neighbors?
Well, that,
What?
I mean, it looked like could have been far enough that you wouldn't have seen neighbors,
It's the front lawn. She did not think this through entirely. I'm
but
sorry.
yeah, but I put in, Lucy kills her with like, I don't know, a potato or something because they didn't show what she was killing her with.
Killing her with.
It
Yeah, yeah.
literally could have been anything.
I assumed it was the knife that like the crazy lady stabbed her arms with or whatever.
But
I
I
don't
mean, it
know.
could have been. It very well could have been, but they don't show it because so it literally could have been like, I'm gonna kill her with a fucking desk clock, you know. So,
No more wire hangers.
yeah, and Lucy at this point confronts the fact that Anna has been betraying her the whole fucking movie. You
Yes.
want her to live instead of me. Why would you try to save her? Why would you let her do it all over again? You never
I
believed
wasn't gonna
her.
let her.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you're
I thought,
lying, Lucy says. You never believed me. You think I'm crazy just like all the
mm-hmm,
doctors. I thought
yeah,
once I showed you their faces that you'd love me again. She drops a knife. Then we see it's a knife and she goes inside, leaving
yeah.
evidence. Um, and the daughter's body is still under the bed. Like they haven't addressed that at all yet. The daughter is not in the trench yet.
Yeah.
Um, so we see the warehouse with the white curtain room thing. She sees herself in a chair. There's no hole in the chair, so she's got to poop herself.
Yeah.
Yes, it's not a poopy chair.
Nope.
Uh, so now
Actually,
Lucy's wasting
knowing
time.
this movie, they probably take you to the bathroom. They probably
Probably.
escort you gently to the bathroom where they stand outside and give you privacy.
Yes, probably. And now
Yeah.
Lucy is wasting time looking at family photos.
Yep.
No more, please, little Lucy says. There's a metal chain around her neck. No more, please. Blah blah blah. Creepy lady has her hair now because we flash back and forth. In case that wasn't clear, throws her face into the glass on the frame, and she takes the glass, stabs her in the leg, throwing her face into stuff, and it's just Lucy stuff you see from Anna's point of view.
So here's what I will say. Lucy banged her head against the table, which was the one shot that I actually
Hmm.
like the one with the blood coming under the bed. That's a technically competent shot. It's not a bad shot. The
Hmm.
one shot of the film I really liked was her banging her head into the table.
Yeah.
That was the one shot that I was like, that's actually that looks disturbing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. No, I wondered how they did that too. I was like, did she actually do that? Knowing me, like when we first started Charles, I'd be like, yeah, I'll do it.
It's entirely possible. To me, what the way you do that is you just get something really soft on the table, and then you ask the person to really hit their head into the soft thing.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, um,
Don't care enough to find out.
yeah. Well, that was one of the things. Like, I always hate when someone like pulls the punch in a film because that
Yeah.
looks so fucking fake.
Hmm.
So the key I've always felt is get something that's really soft that you can hit someone with as hard as you can and it won't hurt them.
Yeah.
So I would assume that maybe there was something very soft on the table or something like that, or um so
Totally.
like there's a difference between someone going or someone like, you know what I mean? Like that
Yes.
really, that the
Yeah.
difference is it really looks like you're hitting hard, and the audience
Hmm.
doesn't know that that's not a hard subject. They know this. I really hope they know that this is not like a rock. Um, it's a rock lobster. Anyway,
It's a rock
so
lobster. Yes. Thank
yeah.
you.
So Anna tries to convince Lucy not to kill herself. And she says she'll get Lucy new clothes and they'll get out of there. And then Anna says it's never gonna let me go, and she throws herself over the balcony.
No, Lucy says that.
Yeah,
Lucy says it's never. Yeah, she throws herself off of the balcony that's not high enough to kill yourself.
yeah,
Yes, she tried though. So yeah, we get a fucking this old man flashback.
yeah. Isn't it fun? Isn't it fun when you think that this movie is literally 4 minutes under 90, and it's filled with so much fucking filter. I mean, like so
It
much
is.
fucking filler.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, it totally is. It totally is.
yeah.
So then we get Anna and the bodies. Anna's cleaning up the blood. The phone rings. We learn it's the Pattersons this time. That's the name of the family that they bludgeoned to death. Um, can't. I love that we can't reach the phone. We're probably doing something much more important. I thought was funny. And then there's no one on the voicemail. She goes to the cupboard looking for paper towels.
Boy, that
And
wouldn't, if you murdered someone at this house and you start getting a call with a hang up, that's not a key to get the fuck out of there right now
yeah,
at all, is
right.
it?
So in this closet, she sees like this loose thing in like a cupboard, and it's really not that obvious. She didn't seem that smart where she would notice that this is like a latch to another room. It was it
Yeah.
wasn't as well executed as it was in the first one.
Yeah, well, you know
Um,
what? This is the point where I said that this felt like someone watched the original, wrote an outline, and then instead of writing a full script from that outline, they just used the outline for the first half of the movie.
yes, yes. Absolutely. So the
Yeah.
the lights come on. She sees the ladder. This room is much smaller. The ladder's much smaller. The key is attached to the ladder. It's just right there for her to just get. She figures it out really quickly. So, and I wrote like for someone so afraid to like call 911, she's like so bold to just like go and do this, like go in
Yeah.
and explore this crazy fucking thing. So she goes down the ladder, goes through this curtain and this random lab shit. She sees the martyr photos, which is a whole other issue.
Yeah, well, and here's the thing, the original looked like a fucking medical facility.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it looked like something that, oh shit, something going down here. It's a Resident Evil lab. This just looks like a regular hallway. It looks like just a regular hallway, and the martyr photos are 100% staged here.
Yes.
You and I were debating whether or not the originals, they were real photos or not, because
Mm-hmm.
they were so well done. This is 100% like, hey, let's, fucking do some quick pictures for my fucking makeup reel.
Yeah.
You know,
Can you make sure your eyes are facing up? Okay, we're good. That's
yeah,
perfect. We got it.
exactly. A couple of the doors down there don't open, and then finally, she opens the door. Here's where I noticed there was no hole in the chair, so people just poop on it.
Yeah.
And it's a very tortured looking little girl
Named Samantha. Yeah.
who is super fucking chatty.
She's very, very, very chatty. Yes.
Mama called
Yeah.
me Sam. And oh my God.
Yeah. So, I mean, she's cute. You feel bad for her, but she's also pretty clean for someone who's been stuck in her own feces for God knows how long.
Yeah.
Um,
So also, let's point out the fact that like another problem with American horror here is how afraid they are to go with the grotesque.
yes.
Because the woman in the original that was in the basement, that was fucking horrifying. That was
Yeah. There's no bolts in this kid's skull or anything.
yeah. This kid like looks like they're well fed. Sure, they look a little, like they've had a bad time, but
They're not on vacation.
but it's a fully dressed, their hair has not been cut. They're
No.
not they're a little bloodied up and a little dirty, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But because it's like, oh man, everyone's gonna feel bad if it's a little kid, because we don't want to go through all the makeup and all that stuff that they did in the original and have to, really
It
upset
was like a
people.
cop out. They were like, let's just make it a little kid and then we don't have
Yeah.
to do everything they did in the original.
Yeah, exactly. And speaking of cop outs, here's where we find out that Lucy is still alive. She was just
She's
kind of
still
knocked
alive.
out.
And
Yeah.
Anna says, you were right about everything. So someone finds her downstairs. There's someone knocking on the door. I wrote
Pounding on the door because we need that horror moment of, oh no, let's run through the field because Texas Chainsaw Massacre and all these other movies have had a
They
chase
did
scene.
that. Yeah, yeah. They fucking, so then the people walk in hillbilly clothes. I'm sorry. I don't mean to insult hillbillies everywhere, but
I
like,
do.
in,
Fuck you,
in,
hillbillies.
in things that actually they're wearing like jeans and flannels, which is not
Yes.
hillbilly necessarily, but it's just like another cop out, I thought. So there's someone
Yes.
running to the door. Someone pulls something down, but you don't see it. Oh, they nearly escape. Oh no! So we have Lucy, Anna, and Sam like running out, and they nearly escape, and that would have been great because it would have been the end of the movie.
But you didn't mention how they get out of the house through jumping out the second story window in slow motion and like, oh my God,
Hmm.
it's so fucking cliche and
I didn't
bullshit.
even write that down. I didn't even write that
Yeah,
down. I must have
yeah,
hated it that much.
yeah.
Yes. So they're running through the woods, and people conveniently have flashlights that we didn't see when they were coming into the house. The light flashes directly on them several times, but somehow
Yes,
they do not get noticed.
yes, they are hiding. The flashlight
Yeah,
is going back and forth. The flashlight goes on their fucking faces.
yeah, it does. Yeah,
So either the guy with the flashlight isn't looking where he's shining the flashlight,
that's possible.
you know, like this is so fucking dumb. This is not how flashlights work.
This is not how flashlights work.
So they all run to Anna's car, which is another great idea. Let's
Wonderful
all run.
idea.
There's all these guys outside the house who have they're able to chase us in a pickup truck or whatever.
Hmm.
They're not going to be
Hmm.
waiting by my car that I parked directly outside at all.
No, no. I mean, like, this was a foolproof plan,
Yeah,
obviously. So they
yeah,
get caught. They get attacked, obviously.
yeah. And so Lucy and Anna are both bound and they take Samantha away. At this
Hmm.
point, you realize it's so fucking messy. There's too many characters left alive now. Like,
Yeah, too many people to care about. I mean, I was okay with introducing Sam, but that's because I thought Lucy was dead.
not only that, when they introduced Sam, I wrote, I bet you they're not going to shoot the little girl. This movie does not have the balls to shoot the little girl.
Yeah, they're not going to kill the little girl. And guess what? They
Yeah,
don't.
yeah,
Surprise.
yeah. Sam runs and tells tells the police and blah blah blah. So let's see.
Yeah, and I
We
love
get
that Anna cares way more about Sam than she ever did about
yes,
Lucy.
yes. So we
Yeah.
see B-roll of the property. We see a car. We see an old lady. I guess that's this movie's version of Mademoiselle. We don't ever
Yeah,
hear her name.
Who looks like Jodie Foster mixed with Hillary Clinton.
I had actually said she looked a little like Angela Merkel to me.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Anna and Lucy are tied up on the floor. Anna's reaching for the shotgun, but is sat on the chair by the hench people. And I also said she might look like a little like Madeleine Albright.
Yeah, you said. I remember you said that one.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'm so tired. What are you doing here, Anna? Pattersons are dead. You're in a lot of trouble, Anna. Who are you? What's her name? I called the police. They're on their way. Oh, and then they realize it's Lucy, and they're like all excited that Lucy's back, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, she wakes up changed. She tries pathetically to escape. And then we see that Lucy's in the next room, also in chains. There's someone in the door, and it looks like she's going to be killed because we hear a drill whirring. They don't show what they do to her with the drill, of course, because
Yeah.
it's a cop out.
Yeah.
Sam is yelling, "Leave her alone." At that point, why is there no one going in and like putting something over Sam's mouth? We don't know.
Yeah.
I wrote, there's lots of cutaways. We're supposed to care about so many of them. How can we do that?
And here's where I noticed that they go so fucking far out of their way to make sure that Anna never looks ugly. She's
Yeah.
not even sweating. She's
Yeah.
not even fucking
Yeah.
sweating during this
Yeah.
part.
They never even put sweat on her. I mean, like, you have a couple of beads in one scene, but that's pretty much it. That's
Yeah,
it.
like they put a bridle in her mouth and they put little electrodes to her temple. And they ask, "Do you
Yes.
want to live, Anna? Open your eyes if you want to. Open your eyes if you want to live." And they shock her, but that's not what the guy sounds like. You'll get another jolt, maybe a dozen more. Open your eyes, leave them closed, and you die. And they shock
Yeah.
her a whole bunch of times as Lucy listens in. And at least Lucy looks sweaty. So you can tell who the producers and director thought was the attractive one in this film.
I know. It's
Um,
really fucked up.
It really is, but like that's the thing. As maybe people who are not in film wouldn't know that. But as people
Yeah,
in that,
probably not.
yeah, but as people who are in there, and we've had to deal with asshole fucking producers and directors and everything,
Mhm.
100%, you can tell they were prioritizing Anna because of her looks.
Yes, and I mean, like, imagine how traumatizing, like, the actress playing Lucy, how much that must have been as an actress. Like, more traumatizing, like, for me, it would have been than having to do all these things in this movie because it's a cop out of a movie. But like, thinking that like they didn't care what I looked like because I wasn't the attractive one would really hurt. You
And not to
know,
not
like,
to mention, so now we have three characters now that we're supposed to care about. We don't,
mm-hmm.
but we're supposed to.
Yes,
Okay, so now they have to split all the shit that happened to Anna among three characters.
mm-hmm.
That
Yes,
happened to
they
Anna
did.
in the original among three characters, and it destroys the impact of every single one. Not to mention that they don't go far enough with any of them.
Mm-hmm.
All the
Mm-hmm.
fucking the psychology, the fact that like, think about it. Like, how much did it affect you as a woman seeing Anna
Yeah.
in the original being forced to have her fucking haircut against her will?
Well, yeah, that was the thing. That was the thing that hurt me the most, I think, in that movie.
Yeah, we
Absolutely.
don't see that here.
Yeah.
Because of course you can't cut the girl's pretty hair because that's
Mm-hmm.
what gets her commercial work. you
Mm-hmm.
know and as I said, this is not anything against the actress,
No, nothing against any of
nothing
the
against
actresses
her
in
at
here.
all,
No.
nothing against her, nothing against any of the other actors, because you know what, everyone, I'm not even gonna, I don't even think anyone gave a bad performance. I think everyone did what the best with what they were given.
Mm-hmm.
I think the
Agreed.
script is lacking, and I think the fucking Puddle of Mud guys obviously show they don't know how to direct a fucking movie. They
Yes.
certainly don't know how to fucking give anyone emotion.
Oh my God, Charles is you're fired up right now. I love it. That's
I've
great.
Yeah, well, see, there you go. It's the beanie and me being the thing. So,
It's the
um,
beanie and the nor'easter and Fleetwood
yeah,
Mac.
there you
That's what
go.
it is. Yes.
So like, at this point, Mademoiselle is talking, and also Lucy like repeating monsters aren't real. Like fucking, there's so much extraneous dialogue in this film
Mm-hmm.
because they're
Mm-hmm.
afraid people will get confused if characters are not literally saying out loud their feelings.
Yes. Yes. It's a cop out. Everything's a cop out. So she says one more stage to Lucy, and your suffering will be done. Taking that from the original. This is what
Yeah, which was originally
Hillary
to
Clinton
Anna.
says.
Yeah.
Yes, which is
Yeah.
usually to Anna. So glad you came back to us. It's gonna be fine, sweetheart. We hear screaming in the distance. Anna's pounding her head onto the wall.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
can I say Lucy does not look like she's in a trance. She doesn't look like she's in ecstasy. She kind of just looks stoned.
she does look stoned. Yes.
Yeah. Which once
Yeah.
again, I don't blame the actress. I blame the directors, because the director is the one who sees what she looks like.
Yep. Yep.
You
You
know?
know what killed me too is that if you still have this demon lady following you, she could have saved her ass, and she didn't.
Yeah. Well, they've already established that that it wasn't real from the very fucking first goddamn 5 minutes of the film. Yeah, so now they start singing the song that was so important to them.
Knick knack
This
paddywhack.
Yeah, this
This
old
old man.
man.
Yes.
Yes.
But it's never really, it's hardly ever this old man. That's why I keep saying Knick Knack Paddywhack, because that's the thing they keep going back to.
Yeah, yeah.
So silly.
So,
Um,
and of course, here's a time where we get some flashback shots because the movie doesn't have enough flashback shots to fill out the runtime.
can we just keep talking about Fleetwood Mac? I'm done with this movie.
Yeah. So there's a priest talking to a bunch of people, and he's explaining that Stevie Nicks didn't join until the 10th album.
Yes. Yes.
Amazing. Yeah.
Oh, I'm crying. That's really
Yeah. So there's a woman who's being, boy, now that I think about it, this movie certainly could have fucking benefited from the no, we already have a girl. At the end when
Oh my
when
God, you're right.
yeah, when they're suddenly, now there's a woman we've never met being tied to a post.
Yes, and lit on
Yeah.
fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Anna is being like put in this room. So basically, yeah, there's like this priest on this altar with this funeral, with this pyre for fire, with this woman attached to it. There's people in the audience watching, and Anna's up with Hillary Clinton on like a different level, and she's like, "Oh, they already know that you're here." and like
Yeah.
and it's all this stuff, and she lights the woman's still lit on fire, and the fire goes out, and she seems like she's still alive and whispers something to the priest man.
Yeah.
Yes, about the
So
next album that has been unreleased by Fleetwood
yeah,
Mac.
that's exactly what she whispered. She's like, Stevie Nicks didn't join until 10 albums in. Um, and then
Yes,
he was, and that's why he shoots himself at the end of the album. He's like, "What? No, I thought,
yes.
I thought Rumors was only their second album."
This is so upsetting.
Yes. Lucy's last words are, Fleetwood facts.
Yes.
You know,
Yes,
but
yeah. With
yeah,
I
but
love how you keep doing finger guns with it too. After you just
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. I feel I'm gonna have to bleep that line.
Probably.
So yeah,
Probably.
so Lucy,
You'll
so
never
basically,
see it.
Mademoiselle is explaining that Lucy is the speech about what a martyr is awful and inaccurate.
Yes.
It's basically saying Lucy is some sort of weird survivor that has this ability to endure pain you or I couldn't, and it's like, wait a minute, what? Like she endures this unspeakable sins of the earth, and no, none of that is what a fucking martyr is. You're basically you make her sound like a goddamn X-Men character, like she's Wolverine, and she can just survive whatever you do to her. They refuse to die. Like, no, that's what it is.
This is not what it is. And I love how they try and take parts
Yeah.
of it from the original monologue too.
Also, I just keep realizing how fucking annoyed I got that my voice went up so many octaves. I hope that actually shows up on mic. I assume Monkey is in Monkey's
She's in timeout.
Yeah, in timeout, going, what is that sound?
Can I eat it?
Yeah. So, all of
I
them
don't
see
even
something
know.
in their final breaths, and we're so close. That's our hope for Lucy and a few rare others.
Yeah, and she's basically like the guilt that Annabeth feel too, because she's just like, "Thank you for bringing our Lucy back to us," and all that. And she's just like, "I just was trying to tell her not to murder this family."
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So, and by
What?
the way, when they burned the woman at the stake, that's some really bad fucking CG fire they use on her. By the way.
It really is. It's also not safe.
Yeah. Well, that's
That
why
is-
it is safe, because it's CG fire.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, but they're looking for the answer to the greatest mystery. They sacrifice for knowledge. What is this fucking villain speech?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's a really terrible villain speech.
Yeah.
And it's just like a really bad knockoff. And yeah, you're right. That's the big thing is like it's just so inaccurate about what martyrs are.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised they got away with that.
I mean, maybe
Yeah.
they were quoting Puddle of Mud lyrics.
They were, or
Anyway,
maybe they made the
yeah.
puddle of mud into holy water. And
Yeah,
then
so
they thought it was okay.
So speaking of puddles of mud, they take Anna and they put a rag in her mouth, and then they just bury her alive with the family. And while they make the final preparations for Lucy, they don't seem to do like, I don't know, shoot her or something like that. They're just like, well, we'll just put you in the hole and put dirt on you, and we're sure that'll be enough.
Yes, and then they don't notice that there's still a water drainage pipe that she has access to.
Here's the big problem with that. They don't mention the fucking water drainage pipe at any point in the fucking film. You and I only know it's a water drainage pipe because we saw the original.
Yes, it's a water drainage pipe. And then here's the other issue too, is that even if it was a fucking drought, the whole point of having that thing that the fucker used with the backhoe is to get down to this water pipe where there would be water. There would be water somehow, yes, in the bottom of this trench, and that would drain out into the other side of the water drainage pipe. And that does not exist at all. In the original, they're using plumbing that doesn't necessarily have to do or require water to be at the bottom of that trench, but this one does.
Yeah.
So she escapes through this drainage pipe because she's not an idiot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And also, and it's not doing that she's not an idiot. It's because you can't have an unhappy ending for an American audience. You need people to feel hope.
It's true. You do.
Because when I watch Martyrs, that's certainly the thing. And I love that now I have a fucking halo as the fucking sun is shining on me.
You do. Welcome to my
Yes.
apartment. Yes.
Yes, but yeah, no, but believe me, after the fucking nor'easter last night, like it's kind of crazy to
I
actually
know.
see the sun again. But yeah, like that it's this whole, well, we can't have an audience go home disappointed. So let's make sure that we bring some hope so that, oh man, let's all root for Anna to go and save Lucy and Sam.
Yep. Who also, she doesn't, and this is like wrong of me to say, because people look at me and be like, she's too pretty to fight for anything. But this Anna girl looks too pretty to be able to go back and save people. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Like, she doesn't, like, at least I have meat on my bones. Like, this woman, I don't think she could rescue anybody. I really don't think so.
Yeah, so we see more. Here's where we really see how little they match the blood on Lucy's face, because they're now they're putting Lucy in the surgical thing, and here's where it was this disturbing clinical process where they fucking sliced off all of her skin, and it was very dehumanizing, and and then she's just a face. Anna was just a face in the original. Here, okay, yeah, it certainly doesn't look nice when they start ripping off the fucking skin of her back. But it's just like one little flank.
It's like, yeah, they take off the skin on like the biggest part of her back, and then they just don't. They cut away.
Yeah,
and you expect like the original to see like the next shot of her with no skin, but no, they just took that one little piece for no reason.
I guess like they were making fucking bacon or something. Like there's really, it's
they were,
fucking,
they were hungry. Yeah. They were hungry.
Yeah. So, and not only that, let's also point out the fact that, by the way, when Anna is buried alive, she has like 2 splotches of dirt on her face.
Yes.
Her clothes are absolutely filthy, but because, as I said, I'm sure that there was the keep Anna pretty, directive. No, claws I would assume would be from her. I think.
Yeah, that's true.
I think this was a directive from up above.
From the real Martyrs.
Yes.
And from our one true savior, Stevie Nicks.
Yes. So, we see, and my comment was, we see a very fleshy looking Lucy on the cross.
Yes, she's got lots of flesh.
Yeah, and now Anna's killing dudes with shovels and breaking off pieces of woods because now she's an action hero all of a sudden.
Yep.
And
there's weird things too that we forgot to mention, that for some reason Anna can hear Lucy and Sam like in her head through the pipes.
Yeah,
which doesn't make any sense.
But and yet no one else in the fucking place can hear the fucking shotgun blast.
Yes, no, they can't.
Yeah. So Anna comes in, she sees another random girl, she kills a janitor and kills another dude. And she's attacked.
She goes to find Sam.
Yeah. She rescues Sam, and I just wrote, I abhor this. I abhor this scene so fucking much because it's such Hollywood wank bullshit.
Yeah, I wrote, she says, I'm getting you out of here. I need to find my friend. I have to find my friend. And I just wrote, they're wasting so much time. So Sam runs away. Yes. Right? Is that when that happens? Yes.
Yeah, Sam runs. She tells Sam to run away and get help. So now the police are going to be called because, yay, they're going to come to the rescue.
Yes, and also Sam, for someone who was held hostage for so long, can run very well.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. So she finds that Lucy isn't there. Oh, she gets stabbed. I forgot about that. Anna gets stabbed.
Yeah, yep, in the side. Whatever. In the side.
Yes.
With a very honestly, with a fairly fucking survivable injury.
Yes.
And then she shoots there was a doctor that she shoots with a handgun, but she does it gangster.
Yeah, which is also like, here's for filmmakers everywhere. If you don't know that, you cannot, and nor is it realistic to shoot someone that way. As someone who has shot guns before, you cannot shoot with accuracy, and only the movies have like given this false information that you can hold the gun sideways and shoot people. Even gangsters don't shoot like that in real life. Like, you don't do that. Don't ever have one of your characters do that. Ever. That is a Fleetwood fact for you.
She popped. I'm not going to make that a Fleetwood fact.
It's not a Fleetwood fact.
Yes, but although Anna, cocks a glocks and pops until she drops, and
Oh God, that was embarrassing.
I can do it. I'm a person of color. Anyway, so
Yes.
Anna fires at the group gathered there, and Lucy is crucified, but not because it's American horror. We can't really crucify someone. Someone might get offended. So she's not.
Oh yeah, that's what
even...
I was thinking. I forgot this.
Yeah.
I forgot that maybe it was like a pound of flesh, but that's like a Jewish thing. That's not a Catholic thing. Them taking just like the one like, but that's some Shylock shit.
Yeah.
Right. I don't. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, we're not
it's
gonna.
A bad. No.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a whole can of worms if we start talking about Merchant of Venice. So we're not gonna.
That's true.
Yeah,
I did write. I wrote this is a bad crucifixion job.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. She's not even really crucified. They don't want to offend anyone, so there's no nails through any of her body. She's just hung. She's just like hung up there, and the most they did it as I described it, the pussy way of doing it. All of her pain, I've been worth, she knows the answers. The rest of the world has fought countless battles over. Please don't waste her suffering.
Yeah.
So she whispers to Anna, and the priest dude, who we don't know, we don't care about, he hears it and he shoots himself, even though he's about 3 feet away.
Yep.
From the thing, so pretty much the same distance Mademoiselle is too. And yet she doesn't hear it, he does. And
well, men have better hearing than women, don't you know that?
Yeah. And Angela Merkel demands to know what she saw, and says, "You tell me." And then she shoots her through the head. Anna shoots her through the head after saying, "You tell me," because there you go, she got a fucking catchphrase in there, and she got to do something. This is so blandly, annoyingly, disgustingly heroic in the fucking worst possible way.
We love this movie.
I would love to I would prefer to get a fucking enema with hot coffee than watch this fucking movie. But yeah.
I'd rather douche with the sobbing.
Yes, exactly. So, if I was a lady, I would probably say that. So, at this point, we hear sirens. The police are coming to make sure the bad guys all get put away.
Yes.
It's all gonna work out in the end. And then they hug as she takes Lucy off the cross, but Lucy just stares straight ahead, and so does Anna. And we go back to more of their bullshit fucking, I wish I could ride a cloud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I go anywhere with you. Could go anywhere with so they're like they're right next to each other lying down, apparently.
Yeah.
Yes, for some reason.
I
could go wherever I wanted.
Yeah.
Anna's seeing it too.
For no reason. For absolutely no reason. And then Anna rolls her eyes into her head and I guess dies.
Yes, but she's the one who dies with her eyes martyred, which they never even really go into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is just the weakest fucking bullshit garbage ending.
Yes.
Fuck this ending. I will say so. Let's go over a couple quotes here, because honestly, I couldn't even find information on how they made this because I guess everyone's embarrassed. So the writer, Mark L. Smith, said, "What attracted me to it is that I'm not a lover of violence. When I wrote, I was trying to put these characters in a very violent world, but not really show the violence, because that's certainly how Martyrs is made better."
That's how Martyrs is supposed to go. Absolutely.
Yeah, I tried to stay away from all the violence and keep it off screen, which was kind of the polar opposite of the original. And he said that he wanted to make sure that he focused on the love between the two, so that you see the movie and you don't want to kill yourself at the end. And I'm like, then why? This is the wrong movie for that dude. Wrong movie.
You could have. There are so many other things you could have done, but you shouldn't have made any movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and we also go to a quote from Pascal Laguerre, the director of the original film, and who, when asked about this, says, "I had a bad contract. I didn't even get paid for it. They didn't even pay him for this fucking movie. He wrote the original, and he didn't get paid for this. That's really the only thing I regret in my career, that my name is now associated with such a junk film and I didn't even get a cent for it. I tried to watch it, but I only got through 20 minutes. It was like watching my mother get raped. And then I stopped. Life is too short. In the American system of movies like Martyrs is just not possible. They saw my movie and then turned it to something completely uninteresting.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. So this is garbage.
So that was Martyrs.
Yeah, that was the American version of Martyrs. I don't recommend it.
No.
Go watch a Fleetwood Mac documentary instead. Go watch paint. Go watch paint drying on the fucking wall. Hell, you know what? I'm gonna give you a real low blow. I'm gonna give it a real low blow. Go watch Veronica instead.
Oh wow.
Go watch Zardoz instead.
Go watch The Postman?
No, it's not that bad.
I knew you were gonna say that. I knew you were gonna say that.
No one should do that to themselves.
Oh, I'm crying.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yes, people, that was the garbage that calls itself Martyrs.
Yes.
Yeah, don't watch it.
No.
And as I said, and there's nothing to do with the actors. Every actor in it did the best with what they were given. And you can't polish gold. I mean, you can polish gold. You can't polish a turd. And,
you can't polish a turd.
Yes, you can't. Someone just gives you a big steaming lump of shit and then like, hey, do your best with this. It's still going to be a big steaming lump of shit at the end of the day. So, even if you if you have the skill to take that lump of shit and then fucking shape it into the goddamn fucking Michelangelo's David, it's still a lump of shit. So that's all you can do. And I don't blame the actors for this. And I hope they're all doing well.
Yes, I hope that they have gone on to better careers.
Yeah, but the Puddle of Mud dudes, I think this is the only movie they ever did. And good! Don't do another one. So yeah.
Thanks for listening, though, guys.
Yeah, so thanks for watching or listening. And we hope that we helped you with your facts.
Yes.
So yeah. So Chelsea, where can people find you?
You can find me at Chelsea.LeSage on Instagram and on cameo.com/Chelsea.LeSage, where I can talk to you if you pay me. What about you, Charles?
I can be found at charles.d.lincoln on Instagram. And you can contribute to my Patreon at patreon.com/CharlesDLincoln, one word.
Yes, and then you can find us
together
on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And yes, please, it'd be great.
Yeah, so at CL Squared Productions.
At CL Squared Productions, yes, that's us.
Yeah, so I was gonna say you didn't actually say where you can find us
my
together.
brain just stopped. Like my brain was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Now I have to go to set. Yes,
and so
big announcement.
Yep. So next week, of course, will be the beginning of our final film and its remake.
Mm-hmm.
So once we announced we were doing this, a lot of people came to me and were like, Charles, are you going to do this particular film? Are you going to do this particular film? And
we are.
It's time for us to do this particular film.
Mm-hmm.
So next week, those of you who and some of you know it and some of you don't, but I am, obviously Charles D. Lincoln. I am the son of Fred J. Lincoln, who was in this particular film. And so next week, the road is taking us all these different ways and, through, Hellraiser and Martyrs and Nightmare on Elm Street and some good and some bad. And so next week, the road leads to nowhere as we review the original Last House on the Left.
I can tell you I'm about to cry.
Yeah. Wes Craven's first film.
Yeah.
Last House on the Left, of which my dad is in there, and everyone knows I don't really, I talk about my dad in little stories and stuff, but I haven't really ever spoken about his career, except in one documentary that I did recently that you'll see after this. So next time we will discuss the movie that Fred J. Lincoln plays Weasel in, Wes Craven's first film, Last House on the Left.
Yes. So
So,
stay
yeah.
tuned for that.
Yeah. So we will see you then.
We'll see
Until
you
then,
next week.
all we can tell you is to go your own way.
Oh my god.
Bye.
Fuck.